The big showdown, Harris versus Trump, round one. All right, people, buckle up. This is going to be one for the history books. The Harris-Trump debate was like a political cage match, and we're here to break it down for you. We're talking economy, immigration, abortion, healthcare, climate change, and so much more. Every major issue was on the table. These two had very different visions for America, and the world was watching. Let's jump right in. From the opening statements to the closing remarks, it was a roller coaster of ideas and ideologies. Sparks were flying from the get-go. The tension was palpable, and neither candidate was willing to back down. Harris came out swinging, ready to fight for the middle class and push for progressive policies. She emphasized healthcare reform, education, and social justice.
Well, I did what I do best, talk a big game and make some bold claims. I focused on economic growth, national security, and maintaining traditional values.
But who will the American people believe? The stakes couldn't be higher, and every word mattered. It's time to dive into the nitty-gritty and see what each candidate brought to the table. From policy specifics to personal jabs, it was all on display. Get ready for some serious policy talk, folks, because the future of America, and maybe even the world, hangs in the balance. This debate could shape the direction of the country for years to come. Show me the money economic plans on the table. First up, let's talk money, money, money. The economy is on everyone's mind, and for good reason. Harris came out strong, promising to put more money in the pockets of working families. She emphasized the importance of financial stability for the average household.
My plan? It's straightforward. Tax cuts for the middle-class folks. This means more disposable income for everyday expenses like groceries and school supplies. That's music to a lot of ears. People are excited about the prospect of keeping more of their hard-earned money.
But that's not all. There's more on the table. Harris also wants to raise the minimum wage because, let's be real, nobody can survive on minimum wage anymore. It's about time we address this issue head-on. It's 2024, people. The cost of living has skyrocketed and wages need to keep up. She's all about closing that wage gap and making sure everyone gets a fair shot. Equal pay for equal work is a cornerstone of her plan.
I stuck to my guns. I believe in my policies. I touted my tax cuts from my previous administration, claiming they were a huge win for the economy. These cuts were designed to stimulate growth and create jobs.
But did those tax cuts really help the average Joe and Jane? Many families are still struggling to make ends meet. That's up for debate, folks. The effectiveness of these policies is still a hot topic. One thing's for sure, the economy was a major battleground in this debate. Both candidates laid out their visions for a prosperous future. Both candidates know that the way to win hearts and minds is through people's wallets. Economic security is a top priority for voters. Taxing times, will the rich get richer? This is a question that has been on the minds of many as we navigate through these challenging economic times. Now, let's talk about those at the top of the food chain, those swimming in pools of cash. These individuals often live in a world far removed from the average person. Harris wants to make sure they pay their fair share, folks. She believes that the wealthy should contribute more to the nation's coffers.
I'm talking about raising taxes on corporations and the wealthy. This is about ensuring that everyone pays their dues. The rich have gotten a free pass for too long, and it's time for them to contribute more to society. It's about creating a fairer system for all.
Trump, as you might expect, sang a different tune. He argued that lower taxes on the wealthy would benefit everyone.
Raising taxes on corporations would stifle businesses and hurt the economy. This is a perspective that many in the business community share. I believe in trickle-down economics, the idea that if you cut taxes for the rich, the benefits will eventually trickle down to everyone else. This theory has been a cornerstone of conservative economic policy for decades.
But does trickle-down economics actually work? This is a question that has sparked intense debate among economists and policymakers. That's a question economists have been debating for ages. The evidence is mixed, with some arguing it leads to growth while others see it as a way to widen the wealth gap. One thing's for sure. How we tax the wealthy is a fundamental question about fairness and equality in America. It's a debate that will continue to shape our economic landscape for years to come. Welcome to America. The immigration debate rages on. Immigration, always a hot-button issue, was front and center in this debate.
I'm doubling down on my build the wall rhetoric. I want to crack down on illegal immigration and limit legal immigration as well.
Harris, the daughter of immigrants herself, presented a more compassionate approach.
I want to create a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants already living in the U.S., arguing that they contribute to our economy and society. I also emphasized the need for secure borders, but highlighted the importance of treating immigrants with dignity and respect.
The immigration debate is really a debate about what kind of country America wants to be. A country that welcomes immigrants with open arms, or one that builds walls to keep them out. Section 5, a woman's right to choose. Abortion rights take center stage. Next up, let's talk about an issue that's deeply personal and deeply divisive. Abortion.
I have appointed conservative judges to the Supreme Court, and I support overturning Roe v. Wade. I believe that abortion should be left up to individual states to decide.
Harris, on the other hand, is a staunch defender of abortion rights.
Women have the right to make decisions about their own bodies and their own health care. I vow to protect access to abortion if elected.
The debate over abortion is about more than just a medical procedure. It's about women's rights, bodily autonomy, and the role of government in our personal lives. It's an issue that ignites passion on both sides and is sure to be a major factor in the election. Section 6, Law and Order or Disorder, the rule of law under scrutiny. Now let's talk about the rule of law, the very foundation of a democracy.
On January 6th, Trump incited violence and undermined democracy.
Trump predictably defended his actions on January 6th, downplaying the violence and continuing to make baseless claims about election fraud.
I am a law and order president. The claims about election fraud are not baseless.
He insisted that he was a law and order president, but his actions often told a different story. The debate over the rule of law goes to the heart of what it means to be an American. It's about respecting democratic institutions, upholding the Constitution, and ensuring a peaceful transfer of power. These are not small matters, folks. Section 7, America First or America with Allies, foreign policy in focus. All right, let's shift gears and talk about America's role in the world.
Diplomacy and working with allies are crucial. We strongly support Ukraine in its fight against Russian aggression and reaffirm America's commitment to its allies in NATO.
Trump, known for his America First approach, argued for a more isolationist foreign policy.
We need to reduce America's military presence around the world and focus on domestic issues. Our involvement in foreign wars has cost us trillions of dollars and thousands of lives.
The debate over foreign policy is about what kind of role America should play in a complex and interconnected world. Should the US be a global leader, working with allies to solve problems? Or should it prioritize its own interests above all else? Section 8, Ukraine on the brink, a proxy war and global implications. The war in Ukraine cast a long shadow over the debate.
I condemn Russia's invasion in the strongest possible terms. It's a blatant violation of international law. We pledge continued support for Ukraine, both militarily and humanitarianly.
I've praised Putin in the past and even questioned whether the US should support Ukraine. The war in Ukraine is not America's problem, and we should not get involved.
This stance has drawn criticism from both Democrats and Republicans who see Russia's aggression as a threat to democracy and global stability. The war in Ukraine is a proxy war between democracy and authoritarianism. The outcome of this conflict will have profound implications for the future of Europe and the world order. Section 9, the world is watching global impacts of US policies. Let's face it, folks, what happens in America doesn't stay in America. The US is a global superpower and its policies have ripple effects all over the world. The Harris-Trump debate was watched not just by Americans, but by people around the globe. From climate change to trade to human rights, the decisions made by the next US president will have a profound impact on the lives of billions of people. The world is looking to America for leadership, but will it get it? That remains to be seen. One thing's for sure, the stakes have never been higher, both for America and for the world. Section 10.2 Visions, One Nation, a stark choice for America. So there you have it, folks. Two candidates, two very different visions for America.
I present a progressive vision, focused on social justice, economic equality, and global engagement. I want to build an America that works for everyone, not just the wealthy and powerful.
I'm sticking to my populist playbook, appealing to my base with promises of economic nationalism, immigration restriction, and a strong military. I want to make America great again, but my vision of greatness is often at odds with America's values of inclusivity and diversity.
The choice facing American voters is stark. It's a choice between two fundamentally different directions for the country. Section 11, and the winner is you decide. So, who won the debate? Well, that's up to you to decide, folks. We've given you the breakdown, the highlights, and the lowlights. Now it's time for you to weigh the evidence and make up your own mind. This election is about more than just picking a president. It's about choosing what kind of country we want America to be. It's about our values, our priorities, and our place in the world. So do your homework, folks. Get informed, and most importantly, vote. The future of America is in your hands.